Good evening, students. Once again, a warm welcome to our class today. Today, we are going to focus on international labor standards. I am Dr. Maulin from Xavier Business School, St. Xavier's University, Kolkata. Now, the pandemic is around. We are exposed to global recession of laborers. So, therefore, it is important to understand at this moment what is international labor standard and how it works in the international context. The objectives: first, understanding what is international labor standards, how they are created and supervised. Second, ILO core convention. Third, to understand principles of universality and flexibility of international labor standards. Founding of International Labour Organization in 1900. 1900 was influenced by Industrial Revolution. The fact of the spirit of Industrial Revolution was creeping in. So universal and lasting peace can be established only if it is based upon social justice. The constitution of ILO has said. So, therefore, it is important to know at that moment. ILO structure: International Labour Conference, 4 delegate and workers, government delegates, employed delegates. In the governing body, there are 14 workers, representatives, 28 government representatives, and 14 employers representatives, and International Labour Office. So this is the basic structure of ILO. Now, International Labour Organization maintains and develop a system of labor standards, international labor standards. So, international labor standards are aimed to promote opportunities for women and men to obtain decent and productive work in the condition of freedom, equity, security, and dignity. And these are the four components which are very essential in the context of workers and work related experience. Then, international labor standards. ILS are legal instrument to draw up the constituents, that is to say, government, employees, and workers, setting out the basic principles and rights at work. So ILS take two forms. There are two forms of international labor standards. One is convention, which are legally binding international treaties that may be ratified by member states. Recommendations, which serve as a non-binding guidelines. So therefore, it is important for us to know international labor standards. Then the conventions and recommendations. In many cases, it has been observed a convention lays down the basic principle be implemented by ratifying countries, whereas recommendations can be also be autonomous but not linked to any convention. How ILS are made. International labor standards are drawn up by the representatives of the government, employees, and workers, are adopted at ILO's annual International Labour Conference. Once adopted, a standard is to be submitted by the member of states to their competent authority, and so on and so forth. There are two special categories of these ILS, that is, fundamental core conventions, priority conventions. So therefore, it is important, my dear students, to understand the entire format of this ILO and ILS, and which perhaps will be the creation of ILS, and how we are creating this ILS, International Labor Standards. Number one is a problem identified, then placed on the age, and then report, then second report prepared for the following conference, and so on and so forth. So there is a procedural process or process in which we are making this ILS. So the use of application of ILS is very important. Guidelines of social policies, because social justice is important in the context of workers and work related. Then in trade agreements to protect and promote labor rights. And this is what I wanted to say at the end of my lecture. Students, it is important that today we are in a position to understand labor laws both in the national and international context. Thank you very much for listening to me.